This is Martin Kibati, your host on this channel, Uniquely You, where we are all about life, business, and all things unique. Welcome back, welcome back. It's been, I think, 2 weeks since I last posted, and I think I got, I don't know if you call it an epiphany or you got an idea from someone. My last vlog was about igniting your passion. And one of my friends who was viewing that vlog that night asked a question, and he said, Martin, how I know you've talked about igniting your passion, but how do I make money out of what I'm passionate about? And it gave me an idea. I had a light bulb moment, and that gave birth to what I'm now moving into for the next couple of series, and this is turning your passion to profit. So what I've done actually for the next couple of vlogs starting from next week, I'll have visitors here who will be able to just narrate to us and give us just an insight a bit into their journey, into how they turned something they were passionate about into a profitable venture, and which is what we are all aiming for in life, where you want to make, if your passion could be something that you're making money out of, that is the ideal and the best place to be as an entrepreneur. So I've actually gotten a few guests who are going to come here, and they'll just give us an insight into their journey a bit, and we'll be able also to pick some lessons. Even I, as I'm talking about this, I'm also learning. The beauty of it is I am also growing, and you grow as you also watch these channels, and you also go and just research a bit more for yourself. But today I decided to focus on one thing, just to introduce the topic, passion into profit. There are so many people who are actually doing this. There are so many books about passion to profit, turning passion to profit, but very few of them, and the examples that we have, are giving us practical ideas or examples of how to turn whatever you're passionate about into profit. So I just have maybe like 5 things I have begun focusing on to turn my journey, because again, as I said last time, in terms of how to ignite your passion or learning, knowing what your purpose is, it can be very frustrating to be on the wrong path, only to realize you've wasted a lot of time to now coming back to your passion. So I asked myself some few questions. Are you so passionate about something and you keep on spending money on it and it's not giving you back any returns? Do you have something that you love doing consistently? You don't even, yes, maybe you get tired but you don't feel it, but it's not making you money. Do you have that great idea that you feel is going to change the world, but you don't know where to start? And are you living on the edge with that thing you call passion, and you feel like you're trying to squeeze blood out of a stone? I like that quote someone said. It's like squeezing blood out of a stone if you have something you're passionate about but it's not giving you any end result. So if this is you, you're not alone. We are so many in that category, and many more, where you feel that there's something I feel in my being, in my heart, that I need to do, but even if I'm doing it, I don't feel I'm getting value back out from it. So if this is you, we are together in that field. Sorry, excuse me. We are together in that journey, and today I just want to highlight a few key pointers that I looked at, and it's what I'm also applying on my journey right now to be able to move forward and turn my what I'm passionate about into something profitable. And this is the thing, there's a very thin line between passion and obsession. You can be obsessed about a particular thing, and that is an excessive part of actually passion. Why? I'll give you an example. Martin loves gadgets. So I can be obsessing over gadgets. I keep on buying gadgets, but in my mind I'm thinking, hey, Mato is passionate about gadgets. But how do I look back and then retract and say, you know what, Martin, yes, you think you're passionate about gadgets, but that is not your purpose. You are becoming now obsessed. And I discovered sometimes I would buy things, a year later I'm coming to purchase something else, and I realize, and my wife reminds me, by the way, you had something like this in the house like a year back or 2 years back. So sometimes you just dive into things thinking that it's just a passion. You're encouraging yourself in a negative way. Why? Because you're spending a lot of money. One, I have those things in my house, and I discovered I'm just doing a lot of wastage and wasting my time. So how do I come back and say, okay, yes, I I think I'm passionate about these things to do with gadgets, setting up and all that. So how do I turn this into a profitable venture? And I discovered people used to come to me, hey Mato, I've seen this gadget. How do I, what can I buy? What do you think are the specs in this? Can you advise me? So without even realizing, I could have been a consultant for people's gadgets, but I never looked at that as a venture. And again, it can be so late into what you think is your purpose, and you see you've lost a lot of time, that you start now jumping and hopping into things. Why? Because we really mistake a lot of things. And we said sometimes we mistake our purpose for our passion. And sometimes your passion can be a purpose. And we talked about this last week. So you can be frustrated a lot in terms of moving forward with trying to find your purpose and trying to find your passion. So the steps that I looked at in terms of moving towards monetizing and turning your passion into profit, I looked at one key thing. Number one, be clear on your passion. Be very clear on what you're passionate about. And this, whatever you're passionate about, can end up being your product. Yeah. So your passion is what you spend your time doing, your day-to-day activity, everything that you keep on doing every other time, effortless. You find I started in the morning with this same thing, and in the evening I still have the same energy that I started with. That might be something that you're passionate about. Be clear about it, because that can end up being your product. Because remember, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you're turning this passion into a profitable venture, you need to be very clear. You need to be very clear. Otherwise, the frustration checks in, because you're trying this and you're moving in. And that brings me to my second point. Align your passion with what you're good at. What are you good at? What are your skills? So we've looked at the product. So what are your skills? What skill set do you have? Don't pick an industry based on how much money you think you can make out of it. And that's a very big problem. We only jump into things because we think this is the place I can make money out of it, but it's not your passion. So you end up getting frustrated. You end up becoming the people who are actually spoiling, like you are spoilers for other people, because you set your prices, you don't know your pricing, because you're not passionate about this particular thing. So what we always say is, be very clear on what your skill set is on that particular thing. And if you feel that is your passion, improve your skill set. Remember last time we said, invest in a lifetime of learning. That is the only way you'll be able to grow. So do not pick an industry based on how much money you think you will make out of it, because the only thing that you'll be doing, you'll just be chasing money. So what are your skills? Number 3, find a market you want to work with and figure out their biggest pain. That's one of the most important things. 1, you looked at your product. 2, you looked at your skill. But 3 is finding that market. And then figure out the biggest pain. The people who are making it right now in business are the ones who have already found that market, and they've realized here is a problem. Then now position yourself to fulfill that problem. And I remember one time when I was working, one day the CEO to our organization just told me something. You know, the most important way for you to start a business, Martin, is come here. And he told me outright, and it's not like a person I've been having conversations with, and he told me, if you want to actually make it here, yeah, it's not about being employed. You come here, create a need within this organization, and then position yourself to fulfill that same need. And I was in shock. I was like, okay, what did this guy mean? And I came to learn later what he was trying to tell me. And that is, you need to position yourself to create that need. And it's the best place you can ever be in. And right now you're seeing there are people who are essential services, because there are things you cannot do without. Yeah. So figure out the market you want to work with, and then find out the biggest pain. Now you come and alleviate that pain. You have a ready market for your product and whatever you want to do. And number 4, tailor what you offer. Tailor whatever is your passion, your product or your service, what you offer to your customers. There's nothing as bad as you are so passionate about something that you are the only one who enjoys it. There's nothing as bad as that. You have to tailor whatever you're offering to people to their needs. And you will have a ready market. Because remember, when you come to offer me, for example, if I love gadgets, I said I love iPhones. So I keep on having iPhones around me and iPhone gadgets and whatever. Unless I look at that niche market of people who love iPhones and I start bringing the products for iPhone to start selling to people, I don't have a wide market. Again, not so many people are into Apple products here. I'm talking about locally. But if I look at myself, what is my passion? I'm passionate about gadgets. I'm not really passionate about Apple. I'm passionate about gadgets. So I look at what pain am I alleviating in this area, and then I tailor that offering to the particular people that I'm bringing them. So for example, if I take the Apple gadgets and I say, I'm bringing in my Apple gadgets, but yes, people have them. There's someone who's selling them. What can I do? I have accessories. So I bring unique accessories that people will be wanting to buy for their phones, or even for Android guys, just some trinkets or gadgets. Now I've already tailored my product offering, because maybe it's something they cannot do without. For example, like the unique chargers, fast chargers, different type of things. So you have to tailor what you offer to your customers. It can be that product or a service. And then looking at this final one is work out your marketing plan, because that's one thing we rarely do. You know what your passion is about, that is your product. You know what skills that you have, and then you know what pain you can alleviate. You already know everything, and then you've already tailored this product, and then now you don't know how to reach out to people. That can be the worst thing. And don't lie to yourself. Facebook is not a marketing strategy. Initially, when you're starting a business, you need to know who you're starting with, the target. Who are you targeting? By the way, for me, I have an email list I keep on sending out every time. When you send out that email list, you'll realize these are the people who consistently, you build a relationship with those people. When you start selling to them, these people will become your VIP customers and they're your biggest marketers. So have an email list. Know who you're targeting. Even if it's not email list, phone number. There are different ways you can do it. There's now WhatsApp for business. Collect numbers and start sending out broadcasts to people. I'm broadcasting to you that this is a product I'm selling, because broadcast is not like a group. What mistake people are doing with WhatsApp is you're just adding people into groups. I do not want to be in a group. A broadcast works better in WhatsApp because you can select the whole number of people, like even 200, whatever number you want to select. And then when you send a message, to me it comes as if it's exclusively sent to Martin. And like I'm in a group, you're just broadcasting things, you're selling things, anyone else can post something. Know your target customers and then know the marketing plan you're going to send to them. You create a database of the people you want to sell to, yeah, and build a relationship with them, and these people in turn become your audience. Now, a disclaimer, guys, you can't start an idea and monetize it in a few days. If you are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, I'm sorry, you won't find it. Wait for the pyramid schemes, of which I also had invested in them and I got burnt very dearly, and I learned my lesson from there, and I discovered, let me value the process. That's one thing we don't do. Then stop listening to everyone. People will tell you a lot of things. Like, hey, your idea, but when someone puts that but in your head, that's it, it's already gone. That seed of doubt, once it's planted, you can never go back and start saying, let me do this. You'll be second guessing yourself all the time. If you want to go, move. There's a video by this guy who does what is it called? He does cartoons, and he does all these action figure movies, action movies. And he was saying, when he was starting out, even his producer had refused his cartoon character Spider-Man. So he took it to the producer, and the producer told him, no, this character, how can you put a spider as a character, as a superhero? People don't love those creepy things and all that. And he said, no, I'm going to put Spider-Man as a young person. What do you mean a young person? Even if worse, you can't have a child as a superhero, you know. So the producer shelved that story completely. So he said, he decided to go with it. So he actually produced a comic magazine. It sold out. The producer was the one who was running to him saying, the idea is very brilliant. Where is it we publish? So sometimes I learned from that guy that you don't always have to listen to people. It's nice to listen to advice. Pick what is good, remove what is negative. And if we do those things, and that's where I always say you become a unique person, because I'm actually living as Martin Kibati. I'm not trying to replicate someone else. So when you want to monetize your idea, really think hard if that's what you want to get into. And that's why I said those 5 key things. First, you have to be clear on your passion. When you're clear on your passion, it becomes your product. Number 2, you have to align your passion with what you are good at. This is There's your skills. What are you good at? These are your skill set. Then number 3, find a market you want to work with and figure out their biggest pain. Once you figure out my pain, you have a ready customer. Number 4, you tailor what you offer, that is your passion, your product or a service, to your customers. Okay, it may helps you to hone actually what you offer precisely to what they want. And this is a very good place to be in. And lastly, work out a marketing plan. It is very important to have a marketing plan. But what I didn't mention was the budget. Because that's the thing, people ask me, hey, how much do I budget? Budgeting, I wouldn't want to talk about budgeting here because budgeting varies from business to business. Again, that depends on your research, on what you're passionate about, and you'll do all of these things. So once we are able to even figure out more other pointers that you can look at in terms of how to monetize, because there are other deeper ways you can look into it, and then you'll become a unique person. So thank you guys for being with me here on this channel, and we'll discuss some more. From next week, I'll be having very interesting guests who will be able to come here and just shed some light on what they have done to be able to turn their passion into profit. So thank you for being here tonight, and I really value your viewership. And just like the pages on Facebook, we are on Uniquely You, Instagram we are Uniquely You 365, and on YouTube, Uniquely You at Uniquely You. Please follow us, subscribe, and share as much as you can. Let's get this word out there. I mean, this is just free information, and we are learning from each other on our journey. Let's grow together, and we'll be uniquely you. Thank you, and have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.